So today we're going to play Choose Your Own Adventure, House of Danger. Um, in front of us we have the main board with a psychic scale and a danger meter on it. To the side we have a clue deck and we also have a story deck. At the bottom here we have our starter objects. Our first one is a pocket knife.
Second one is a bottle of water.
Okay, so we put the psychic on the psychic scale at number 3, and we put the danger mover, yellow cube, on the danger meter at the very bottom. Before we do that, though, we need to look at the back of this card. This is what they call the nightmare image. So I'll just bring that for you. We need to study this as throughout the story. Things on here may help us or harm us, so we might have certain things that we want to go towards. I'm just going to spend 2 minutes looking at that now. So at the top we've got a big spider web with a chef or maid looking person behind.
I still think he looks like Doctor Who.
Doctor Who?
I think it's a maid. He looks like...
Or it's because it's got puffy arms, puffy shoulders rather.
No, I think facially looks like...
Looks like it's got a moustache though.
Doctor Who. Never mind.
Sometimes women have moustaches. We've got some bottles or jars with liquid in.
Swords going down into like a whirlpool of some sort, swimming pool.
The frog's having a good time.
And we've got a building at the back here. Looks like it's got some sort of eco dome or something there.
Right, we've got some safe locks on either side. So I might need to find out a code of some sort. There's an ice block on the right hand side next to the pool.
Okay.
We've also got these 3 lights. Or is this a big lock at the back actually?
Oh, because originally I thought it looked like something like...
Looks like a combination lock.
Mm.
So it might be that we need to unlock the other 2 combination locks to turn on those 2 lights.
Yeah.
Because there's one currently green, isn't there? And then on the left hand side we've just got a load of rubbish. We might want to cipher through the rubbish.
Maybe, because that might give us the clue.
Stuff. Everybody, stuff.
Back over.
Okay. So what else do we have? So we've got the story deck here. We'll read through what it says on the card, and it will tell you what to do next. So in the actual rules, it says just read the cards and refer back to the rule book if there's anything you don't know about. So generally, it will have the text on the front, and then you'll have a decision on the back, and it will tell you to either go to a certain card number, which we go directly to. We don't read any other cards, we don't discard them or anything. Or there may be challenges on that card, and we've got to overcome that challenge using whatever it tells us to do. The impression I get is that we need to use dice to do that, and item cards can help us. So on the item card, so for example, this pocket knife, there's a green symbol down the bottom, I don't know if you can see that, plus a single dot on a die. So that means for green fist challenges, you can play that to add 1 to your die roll. However, if you roll the dice, so you have to play that before you roll the dice. If you roll the dice and it's a 1, you automatically fail and you lose that item that you've tried to use. So generally the items come back to you afterwards, but if you roll a 1, they don't. Okay, so Kat, do you want to read the first card?
Okay.
Well, just before we do that, just go over the object of the game, because that's probably quite key of what we want to do.
Probably a good idea.
So we are aspiring detective and psychic investigator. For weeks we have experienced recurring nightmares that you sense might be important. Your mission is to get to the bottom of these visions. You will decide how to move through the story as a group. The story is divided into 5 chapters, each of which will be played in a single session. So we're playing chapter 1 today. So Kat, let's start off.
So on chapter 1, the grounds. It's a Tuesday morning in late June, and you wake up in a cold sweat. The nightmares came again last night. Even though you're an aspiring detective and psychic investigator, you haven't been able to make sense of the haunting dreams you've had these past few weeks. In your dreams, you keep seeing the same spooky house. You're still shivering under the covers when you hear the phone ring downstairs in your basement, where you have your combination office and research laboratory. You dash down to the lab to answer it. I need, a weak voice says when you pick up the receiver. I need your help. You hear a loud click and the phone goes dead. But you were prepared. While the caller was talking, you activated your high-speed telephone tracing device. It instantly displays the caller's number, 555-7259. You call back the number right away, but there's no answer. After consulting the tall stack of reverse phone books behind your desk, you are disappointed to learn the number is unlisted. You sense that the phone call is somehow related to your nightmares. Later, while at the Hedgebrook police station to return a nightscope you borrowed for a recent stakeout, you describe the mysterious phone call and continued on story card 1.
Okay.
The next card. Your recurring dreams to your friend, Sergeant Morrison. That call does sound strange, he says. We'll look into it. And about that house in your dreams, a voice says from the hallway. I wonder if you're dreaming about the Marsden house out on Hedgebrook Road. Detective Murphy sticks his moustached face into the room. Modern house, ornate gate. That sounds like the Marsden place, all right, says Sergeant Morrison. Strange things are reported to happen out there. Detective Murphy takes a puff on his pipe. That place is haunted, he says. I know it sounds unprofessional, but I've had a file on the Marsden house for years, and I'm sure of it. He waves a folder in front of your eyes, and a phone number written on the front jumps out at you. It matches the one from your mysterious phone call. So the call is related to your nightmares. Your psychic sense were right. Now we need to draw clue 26 to discover your goal.
Okay. That's 26. So our goal for chapter 1 is get inside the Marsden house. I need to place that card up there under the goal section.
Back at home, you grab a bottle of water and your trusty pocket knife, preparing for a new investigation. Half an hour later, you stand before the Marsden residence, which appears exactly as it did in your nightmares. The house's futuristic look is a strange contrast to the antiquated appearance of the stone wall and the wrought iron gate, which is locked shut and wrapped in steel chains. Even though the air is balmy, a chill travels down your spine. The gathering clouds on the horizon hint at a brewing summer thunderstorm. But now we've got a choice in what we can do next. We can search the wall for a way in, or we can climb the gate.
How did that image at the start help us?
I didn't see a wall or a gate.
What's the options again, sorry?
We can either search the wall for a way in,
okay,
or we can climb the gate.
Search, I think.
I was going to say search the wall. Because the wall's quite old. It's antiquated, so I'm thinking it might be a hole somewhere.
Antiquated.
Antiquated.
Very fancy word.
Right, search the wall, so we're going to story card 13.
Hey. So, moving along the Mosey stone wall. It's not Mosey, is it?
It's mossy.
It's mossy. Moving along the mossy stone wall that surrounds the property, you come across a jagged opening created by fallen rocks. It's just big enough for you to squeeze through. Big if I'm squeezing through it. Once on the other side of the wall, you'll find yourself standing in a cobblestone plaza surrounded by marble and bronze figures. Most of the sculptures depict men gazing off into the distance, as if pondering the deeper meaning of it all. But at the edge of the courtyard is a monumental statue of a man atop a muscular steed. To your right, a stony pathway leads away from the statuary and into a picturesque garden where topiary, I don't even know what that means, bushes have been trimmed into whimsical shapes. Ah, there's a man on a steed there. Ta-da. Right, if you inspect the statue of the man on the horse, go to story card 4, or we can walk around to the bushes. Because it says that word again that I can't say.
Topiary.
That's one. Topiary.
I
Topiary.
would say probably go to the topiary.
Go to the bushes.
Yeah.
Right, story card 15.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Put these up.
Yeah.
Upside down.
You emerge into a clearing. Manicured bushes in the shapes of fish, swans, and rabbits perch atop a well-kept lawn. One larger shrub has been sculpted to look like an outstretched hand with its palm upturned. You see a black handle of some kind sticking up out of one of the fingertips. A brick path winds through the shrubs and splits into 2 paths in the distance. One of these leads toward a rickety wooden gate flanked by a pair of stone angel statues. The other path leads into an open field, across which you can see the front door of the Marsden Manor.
Okay.
Oh, there is another picture there of the bush shaped like a hand. We have a free action to pull the handle out of the bush. Draw clue 5.
I'll just do that, yeah?
Yeah, we can just do that. It's a free action.
Free. We found some shears.
Ooh.
So you pull a pair of garden shears from the shrub. They can help you pry something open.
Ooh.
Use cards, finish story card 15. And that can help us with strength challenges by the looks of it. Okay.
We could either go through the wooden gate or head across the field toward the manor's front door.
Well, just going back a second, when you started that card, I realised we didn't look at this picture properly, and there's a sword on it, which could have related to the nightmare image on the front. Maybe we should have done that. So maybe we need to take more care about looking at the image.
At the pictures, yeah. I don't think there's anything else on.
Have a look. No, okay.
Well, I don't think it's going to make a difference in terms of whether we go through the gate or the.
Oh, it's a bush, isn't it? It's not a hand. But
it's
part of the finger's missing.
It's a bush shaped like a hand.
Oh, it's not finger missing. Is that where the shears were then?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. What we do? What's the options again?
We can either go through the wooden gate.
Yeah.
Or we can head across the field towards the manor's front door. It feels like heading across the field is an easy option. And something's
waiting for trouble to happen.
Yeah.
We'll go the other way then, and then get killed. It's your fault.
Going through the wooden gate.
Yep.
21. What? Yeah.
Passing between a pair of stone angels, you enter an old family cemetery. There is a marble. Why is there so many fancy words? Mausoleum. That's the one, mausoleum. In the centre of the cemetery. A short set of stairs leads into the shadowy interior. Next to where you stand, a freshly dug grave yawns in the pale sunlight. It's unsettling to think of climbing into it, but you see something shiny embedded in the dirt walls. Shiny. Okay. So we can either go into that place, or we can climb into an open grave.
I'll look at the picture again.
No.
Why?
I don't know.
That tells me absolutely nothing.
So, no. It feels like there's something inside there that feels like it should mean something.
Yeah.
So have a look at there.
Something on the door, you mean?
Something on the door inside the building. But I'm not sure.
Looks like fish scales or something, doesn't it?
Does,
or maybe like the pattern of the spider web.
No, it's not spider web.
Oh no, it's not spider web, but I'm saying the pattern like the.
No, it's not.
I don't know. It's a tenuous link, but I'm just trying to.
So what do I do?
Go inside there if you want to. There's probably some kind of ghost or.
But I can't say that word, so I think
mausoleum.
I think we should go in the.
I'm reading the next card.
Yeah, but okay. I think we should go in the open grave.
I'll go in the open grave.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 16. What? Has it got fancy words on there?
No.
Alright.
Without warning, the earthen walls begin to collapse around you, and before you can react, you're up to your waist in dirt. See, this is what happens when you choose the answer. You writhe and twist, trying to escape, but it only causes more soil to cascade down. Soon it's up to your shoulders, then your neck, then your cheeks. You struggle to spit the soil out as it fills your mouth, but within moments you are fully buried. You can only see the dark earth in front of your eyes. Your hand closes around a metal disc, perhaps a coin. You'll never know, though, as the soil fills your lungs and the world wavers and goes grey before finally turning black.
Died already?
The end.
That was the quickest game ever.
No, you carry on.
I know, but that was funny.
So if you die, it's not the end of the story. So you move back one space on the psychic scale, and then you return to the previous card.
Is that what it's saying on there?
That is it. That is what it says on here.
So when you die, just follow what it says on the card.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't lose any objects or anything.
So I think we want to go in the mausoleum.
Might do. I said we should have done that before.
Liar. And just for that, I'm going to make you read it.
Oh no. Okay. Got them.
Card number 5.
I deserve that. The mausoleum.
Hey.
The mausoleum interior feels musty and cool. Something is dripping from the ceiling and landing in the corner with a clink, which is odd, given that it hasn't started raining yet. You also notice the mausoleum is bigger on the inside than the outside suggested. TARDIS.
See, I thought it was Doctor Who.
No, it's not the TARDIS. There's another big word. A stone sarcophagus.
Sarcophagus.
That's the one. Lies between you and the centre of the chamber with the word Marsden carved into it. It appears that others have been in the mausoleum recently. There's a refreshing dug pit in the side of the sarcophagus. And an elaborate tunnel has been dug into the ground beside the nearby wall. You can see the tunnel is lined with cement.
We have a gate crasher. Go to bed, please. No, it's bedtime.
Excuse me a second. Okay, sorry about that. So, we have an optional challenge.
Oh.
So we don't have to do it. So if we win, we draw clue 23. If we lose, range danger meter by 1, and you may try again. That's with the I symbol, which we haven't got any I stuff.
No, but we're quite
We're low on the.
low on the
So
scale.
to pass a challenge, you need to roll the dice equal to or greater than the number that you're currently on. So we're on number 3, so we need a 3, 4, 5, or 6. The odds are in our favour.
It's a forever in our favour.
Obviously. There's also another one. So that one, sorry, to search around the sarcophagus.
Sarcophagus.
That's one. The other one is to remove the stone lid of the sarcophagus.
They're both optional.
Both optional, so you can do both of them. But the second one, you raise the danger meter by 2.
Ooh.
Dun, dun, dun.
Let's at least do the first one.
Okay. Or do you want to do the second one first? Because that raises it by 2. Or it doesn't matter, does it?
It doesn't matter.
Okay, we'll do the first one. 6.
Winner.
Winner. So take number 23. We've got a large wooden dowel. Our psychic senses tell us that this is an important item. Keep item, move forward 1 space on the psychic scale, finish story card 5. That one gives us a strength bonus. So we'll use that. So the only way we can fail this challenge is if we roll a 1 and we lose that item.
So if we win the challenge, we still keep that card.
Yeah, we keep that.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 Am I rolling? Am I?
Yeah, go. It's your
Get
fault.
1 now. 4.
4. So we get number 16. Everything we pick up will stay with us until the end of the game, as in end of chapter 5.
Oh, really?
Not just today's session.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, if you lose something, you lose it for good.
Yeah.
You can't get it back. Bonus story choice. It takes some muscle, but you manage to remove the lid and are surprised to find that not only is there no body, but an opening to a secret passageway offers yet another way out of the mausoleum. Place a new story choice below at the bottom of story card 5. This option may be considered when you are ready to make your story choice.
Okay.
So just add it to the bottom of the card there. So we can climb into the pit. I don't want to climb into anything again. Travel through the tunnel. Or just take the secret passageway.
Well, I'll take the secret passageway.
You die, you die, you die. Right, secret passageway, number 24.
You travel through the tunnel for what feels like forever. The light disappears and the tunnel eventually ends. You feel frightened and trapped. You want to run back and try the other routes out of the mausoleum.
We died again.
Before you go, you feel around in the dark. There's nothing in front of you or to your sides, but you discover a mossy hatch in the tunnel ceiling. You turn the handle and the hatch opens onto a grassy patch at the entrance to a hedge maze. Haha.
Ah, we don't die.
We don't die. Go to story card 12.
12.
12. Am I reading this one as well?
There you are. I have to read a few.
The hedge maze is massive. Its thick hedge walls are twice as tall as you, but don't seem stable enough to climb, so you'll have to solve this labyrinth the old-fashioned way. You take a deep breath to steady your nerves and head through the maze's entrance.
Okay.
There's a picture of the maze there.
Kind of.
And straightforward enough. If you go left, draw clue 9. If you go right, draw clue 1.
The old games we go east or west.
ZY, X, Y, Z, Z, Y. That was the one.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right. There we go. Left or right?
Left or right?
Don't know. What clues have we got?
I was going to say, I'm not sure that
Go look at the
there
picture.
are any clues on there.
No, not really.
No, it's.
Do you think, your card?
I'm going to say, let's go right.
Probably gone left, but
Yeah, whatever.
anyway.
Clue 1.
Oh, okay. You're dead.
Turn and follow a path for several minutes. Wait, this looks familiar. Raise danger meter by 1.
Oh.
And draw clue 11. You can do the next one.
What did you do? You keep going and going. It seems like you've just walked in a circle. Raise danger meter by 2 and draw clue 12. Well, that doesn't do much, does it? Right, so I'll do this one. Tells me to go around in a circle again. I'm not going to be happy. If he does that for the whole deck, I'm not going to be happy.
That'll be really funny.
You feel like you might be getting close to the end of the maze. Go left, draw clue 13. Go right, draw clue 14.
It's your card. You can choose this time.
Which way did you go before?
Right before.
If you go right, surely you got to go left at some point.
If you don't know, you've carried on going right. You haven't just been.
I'll go left. Probably go around in circles again. How you doing? Oh.
Finally, you see it. The end of the maze. Go to story card 18.
Hooray!
Well done.
I did that.
Well done.
That's thanks to me.
You finally come to the end of the hedge maze. It exits toward a pool house. Ooh, pool house.
A whirlpool house.
Maybe.
With a sword in the middle.
A short stone pedestal stands in front of you with a metal lockbox on top. Perhaps someone wants to reward you for navigating that accursed maze, though the whole thing does seem suspicious. Looking toward the pool house, you see its door is barely hanging from its hinges. There is also a gate that leads, you assume, directly to the pool. Free action. To see if the lockbox is open, draw clue 3.
Oh, so we just do it? No, considering it.
No. Free action.
We found a truck key. Not only is the lockbox open, but inside you find a key to a truck. Your psychic senses tell you this is an item important.
Important. Yeah, there's a lot of.
This is an important item, sorry. Keep the item, move forwards 2 spaces on the psychic scale, finish story card 18. Oh, we need to take that out.
So we can explore the pool house, or we can walk through the gate to check out the pool.
What? What's the difference? The pool house is next to the pool.
Yeah.
I think we should check the pool.
I think we should as well. 23.
We'll probably drown and die.
Probably. You don't.
Right. It's obvious that no one has cleaned the pool in ages. The water is a murky green and the surface is littered with leaves and branches. Ripples pulse outward from the centre of the pool. Out of nowhere you hear a commotion. You look around and wonder if it's coming from inside the pool house nearby. You then see movement on top of a gazebo in the distance. Someone or something is endangered in a struggle up there. Maybe you need their help. No, maybe they need your help. Then again, if you offer assistance, you might end up needing help yourself. Optional challenge. Investigate the ripples in the pool. If we win, we will lower our danger meter by 2 and draw a clue. If we lose, we raise our danger meter by 2. So the eyes, and we haven't got any helpers for eyes. And what we're on?
4. Is it worth it?
Yeah. You're blame me now.
Yeah.
So it's on 4.
Yeah, but we're that much closer to 5.
We can try again then. Yeah, try again. Right, okay.
Don't do it again.
Alright. What happens if we get to the top of the danger meter?
We set it back to that.
Yeah.
And
We take 2 off the psychic
take 2
scale.
off the psychic
Okay.
scale.
We do it again. No. Okay. So we can go to the pool house or go straight to the action at the gazebo.
If we go to the gazebo, we're going to have to roll something.
Let's go to the pool house and then we'll probably start to roll something.
Probably.
Number 11.
You can tell that the pool house was once quite luxurious. It contains half a dozen private rooms with showers, as well as an ornate mahogany bar in the common area. It must have been fun to hang out in this place in its glory days. Those thoughts fade as the sounds of a disturbance erupt from the top of a gazebo in the distance. And now you can hear a lone violin playing a soothing melody. If you investigate the gazebo or if you follow the sound of the violin.
So what did we learn?
Not a
From the
lot.
pool house.
Not a lot.
We did get the pool house, didn't we?
Yeah, right in the pool house. It's luxurious, showers, bar. You probably want to hang out there for a bit.
A few beers.
But no, it's giving us a choice of gazebo or follow the sound of the violin playing.
Short card. I'll say violin.
You think?
A minute ago, you said don't go to the gazebo?
Yeah, true. Alright, well, go.
Mind up. You move further and further toward the hypnotic sound of the distant violin, which is oddly calming and uplifting, even as the winds increase around you. You notice there is a driveway up in the distance, but before you get there, you arrive at a horse stable with an open gate. Inside, sitting on a stool, is the source of the violin music, a chimpanzee playing his heart out, a soulful expression on his face. The chimp is fully committed to the music. You have never heard such an emotional performance. It's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. And yeah, there is a monkey playing. Don't do that. God. If you leave the stable and run to the driveway, get to story card 30. You tiptoe through the gate to experience the full power of the performance. It's 24.
Why would we do that?
Well, it's making it sound like he's dangerous because you leave the stable and run away. Or you can tiptoe. Sounds like you. But it's a chimpanzee playing a violin. How bad can he be? Was a chimpanzee playing a violin?
Playing a violin.
It's 24, which is tiptoe through the gate to experience the full power of the performance.
24.
It's your card, so you'll die. That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You tiptoe through the open gate, eager to hear the finale of the chimp's violin piece. Quietly, quietly. With your third step, you trigger a motion sensor light that completely illuminates the interior of the building. Apparently, this is no stable. It's a kennel. 20 Doberman pinchers were peacefully enjoying the concert, but now they glare at you with anger in their eyes.
So wait, we go in this room with a chimpanzee playing a violin. But he's playing this violin for a load of dogs.
Yep.
Okay, go on.
The chimp frowns and slowly points his violin bow toward you. Dobermans respond and rush to attack you and then eat you alive.
Joking.
The last thing you see is the chimpanzee violinist laughing at your fate. So embarrassing. And indeed, there are the Dobermans and the very angry chimpanzee.
Great.
The end.
Right.
Move back one space on the psychic scale. and return to story card 17. I think we'll run away and go to story card 30.
Well, I didn't tell you it sounded like he was a dangerous
No, you
chimpanzee.
chose to go.
He didn't exactly convince me to go the other way. What?
The top of the card.
Okay. What?
We've reached the house, apparently.
So, chapter 1 goal has been achieved. You appear in a driveway which leads you to a mansion's entrance. On the door is a plaque that reads Marsden and a large crystal door knocker which seems newer than anything else on the front of the building. You knock loudly many times, but there's no answer. The storm is really picking up now. You try the doorknob and are surprised to find that the door is unlocked. I'm not that surprised.
No.
Sounds very Resident Evil-ish. You've been lucky enough so far, but you're wondering if you've missed something. I haven't been lucky, we died twice. Before you enter the house, you look back and you see a few clear paths. One leads towards a sanctuary, another to a small cemetery. Two more paths stretch out towards a watery ditch with a gate and houses a luxurious pool. You could go back to explore if you want. So this is a point where there's a story return section. And on it says there are items in this chapter that would be useful later on in the story. You can take a risk and go back for anything you've missed by the following choices. You've got loads of places that we can go to. So we've completed our goal, but we can go back and pick up some more stuff. But we do risk losing stuff, I guess, and also going down on the psychic scale. So from chapter to chapter, do we reset the psychic scale and the danger meter?
I don't know. Does it say? I'm assuming it says in there. I don't think so. I'm sure it said something that you need to record what you.
Yeah, I think you're right.
You
so we've got to stay there anyway. So it's not going to get reset. Do you want to go back?
Where's it saying to go back to though? Because...
So we can go back to the sanctuary. Oh, hang on. If you head to the sanctuary, raise danger meter by 2 and go to story card 4. Go to the cemetery and raise the danger meter by 2. Go to the ditch, raise the danger meter by 2. Go to the pool, which we've just come from.
So we've been to the cemetery, we've been to the pool.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to go back anyway? If we go back anyway, we're raising our level up to 6.
And we won't be able to get anything anyway, will we?
No. Because we'll have to roll a 6 to get it.
Yeah. No, I don't think we go back.
No, I think we're in a fairly alright position. Probably not.
Okay. Chapter 1 done.
Mm-hmm.
What do you reckon?
I like it. It's a lot of reading, which I don't mind, but I know you don't.
It's a story game, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of reading. As long as I can laugh at myself at the words I can't say, then it's alright, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very easy to pick up.
Yeah,
I think you could even play this with the kids, but you'd have to read it for them. But then again, if you did play with kids, what would their purpose be?
Help you make the decisions, I suppose, but...
Yeah, roll the dice.
Yeah.
Okay. It's very easy and straightforward.
Yeah.
I think the rules were written fairly well.
Yeah, it was easy. You could literally just open the box and play it, really, couldn't you?
Yeah, as long as you know the gist of the initial setup, that's fine.
Although I think there weren't that many... We didn't have that many challenges, really, did we, in this one? I know this is like the introduction.
No, I mean, we died on, the 4th card? Which was a bit... It's a
bit more than that, wasn't it? But
there was no... Well, there might have been, but I don't know. But there's no hint towards which way you should go and shouldn't go. It feels very potluck.
Yeah.
Apart from maybe the chimp playing the violin when it says run away or sneak.
Yeah, that was kind of half obvious. But yeah, I don't know what would have happened if we'd gone the wrong way in the maze. Whether there was a wrong way.
You could just be going around in circles for ages and then just die of starvation or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You can just keep doing this, and you reset it, and then obviously next time you just choose different ways to go. But I think to play it again, you'd have to leave it at least 12 months.
Yeah, forget
what happened.
Yeah.
And then even then, you're still going to remember stuff, aren't you? But cool. Do I do the next chapter now, or leave it at that?
How long was that one?
That was about half an hour.
Half an hour. We can play the next one if you want to, since it's out already. And
yeah, sure. We're going to carry on.
So, although we keep the items, do the story cards and the other one, the clue ones, do we just put those away?
Just one moment. Keep any items you find and maintain the current position on the danger and psychic scale. Turn the current story card deck and the clues back to the game box. Take out the next chapter.
We need that then.
Keep going. I'm going to get my knife because I can never open these packets.
I'm going to try and attempt to reset this to the correct order, although that's probably going to take quite a while now, isn't it? I might do that when we
No, I'll do it later. You're going to give me another beer though.
Could do.
Thank you. Even with a knife, I still struggle. Okay. Thank you.
We ready to start chapter 2 then?
Yes.
Do you want to start it or shall I?
You. You can gauge how clever the words are going to be, whether I just sit here and nod.
Fair enough. Chapter 2, The Mansion.
Oh, let's get rid of that. What's our goal?
You made it. You're inside the Marsden house, the cursed edifice that has haunted your nightmares for weeks. Your trek through the mansion's grounds has left you with far more questions than answers, to the point where you have to wonder if the smart move would be to turn around right now and forget you ever came to this infernal place. You're no quitter, though. You're an aspiring detective and a psychic investigator. You won't give up this case until you find out why a spooky, futuristic mansion you'd never seen before has somehow found its way into your dreams. And why you got a call from the house this morning. You're standing in a grand foyer. Its modern decor is elegant in its minimalism. Suddenly, a man in a delivery uniform bursts through a set of tall double doors, screaming, "Help! Help! They're after me!" the man cries. He rushes towards you, but suddenly drops to the ground as if he had been hit by an invisible hammer. You dash to his side and hear his breath coming in short gasps that sound almost like sobs. He gives a terrible shriek and lies still. This man has been frightened to death, you think.
You think? That's very added on at the very end. You think?
Just then he inhales sharply, jumps to his feet, and bolts past you and out of the house. You breathe a deep sigh of relief. So, not quite to death. Something falls from his clothing as he makes his exit, and it hits the floor, tinkling. You kneel down to inspect the object and discover that it's a small dart, the kind that might have come from a blowgun. Whatever this man was afraid of, his fear seems to have been justified. Just how dangerous is this house? As your thoughts swirl, a loud, buzzing noise erupts from somewhere beneath your feet, shaking the floor. The noise is so loud it drowns out the gathering storm outside. Just as quickly as it came, the noise stops. It sure sounds like something weird is happening beneath the manor. You're willing to bet that, whatever is happening in this place, the answers await you down there. Draw clue 57 to discover your goal.
So our goal is to find access to the basement.
You don't see any way to a lower level from the foyer. Rather, a sweeping staircase leads upstairs, while the double doors that the frightened man ran through head off to your right, and a smaller door, slightly ajar, leads in the opposite direction. So we can either take the stairs to the second floor, go through the double doors, or walk through the smaller door.
What was that?
We can either go upstairs
Yep.
to the second floor,
Yeah.
go through the double doors, which is where the screaming man came from,
All right.
or we can walk through the smaller door, which goes in the opposite direction.
So we can go upstairs, which is away from the basement. We can go in the door and probably die, or we can go through a little door.
And probably die.
How little is this door?
It's just a smaller door,
A smaller door.
and it's slightly ajar.
Jars? There's jars on the lot there. We should go that way. There's jars on there. We're going that way.
42.
Cool. You enter a parlour, which is decorated in a more old-fashioned way than what you've seen in the house so far. Rich cherry wood panelling covers the wall, and dozens of exotic animal heads are mounted here. Some Marston ancestor was quite fond of hunting or... I'll start that bit again. Some Marston ancestor was quite fond of hunting, or at very least, taxidermy.
Hey!
Woo! Each of the trophies features the same expression. Fangs bared and savage eyes that make the animal look ready to leap from the wall and pounce on you. The effect is quite unsettling, but you also sense that they might be hiding something. There are two ways out of here. An open passage that leads to an adjacent library brimming with books. Books are going to fall on our head. I don't think we should go that way. And a tightly spiraled iron staircase going up, which is going away from the basement. We shouldn't go that way.
Library there.
Ooh, optional challenge. So we've got search, which is the eyes, which we haven't got any items for. So we can search animal heads.
Don't forget we've got these, I just realised.
What's
You can
that?
discard that any time to lower the danger meter by 3.
Okay.
So. Sorry.
Yeah, use that then.
Can I do that now?
Yeah, I think so. So we're going to roll, yeah?
So what are we rolling for? Sorry.
We're going to get some clues.
Okay.
Well, if we win, we get a clue. If we lose, we get a clue.
Ooh.
But we get a clue.
Okay. What clue do we get?
A winning clue, because it's 4, isn't it?
Yeah.
We needed 4 more.
Yes.
We rolled a 4. So we get clue 31. We found a battery. Battery. Inside the sharp-toothed jaws of a sharp-toothed jaws of a mounted cheetah head, you find a battery. It could power a flashlight or a taser, or who knows. It's a 9-volt battery, so it could power a scale.
Okay.
Keep this item and finish number 42. It hasn't got any benefits on it, but I'm guessing that's just an item we can use
Probably
later
gonna
on.
need it for something.
Yeah. So you can go to the library or climb the staircase.
We don't particularly want to go up, do we?
Sometimes you gotta go up to go down.
True.
I don't know, it's brimming with books, that sounds like a warning.
What? You bending the you want to go up then?
Yeah, number 36.
You arrive in a large room with high ceilings and 5 billiard tables lined up in the centre. 4 of the tables are lit by exquisite lamps suspended above them. Billiard balls are neatly racked on the 5th table, which sits in the shadows as if waiting for a game to begin. A small bar stands against one wall. Why do you keep finding the rooms with the bar?
Why wouldn't I?
Atop the bar, 15 overturned crystal glasses are arranged to form a pyramid. There's a weirdly small door on the far side of the room. It seems to have been designed for a child, but you might be able to squeeze through it if you tried. But it's for that monkey, that chimpanzee. You hear rain pattering against a skylight window. It's nearly dusk outside, and the rain appears to have started in earnest.
Ernest.
Ooh! Premonition. If you are level 2 or higher on the psychic scale, we can draw a clue, but we're not.
Nope.
So that sucks.
Okay, thanks.
Optional challenge. Eyes again. Inspect the billiards table in the shadows. So if we win, we get a clue. If we lose, we range the danger meter by 1.
We range the danger meter.
Range the danger meter.
Raise.
Yes, raise it as well.
Your card, your choice.
I'm going to roll. Boom. We get
Got
clue
6.
33.
Successful roll.
Indeed. Bonus story choice. You find a switch and the pool table turns over to reveal a strange motorised mechanism. Maybe it lowers the table down to the basement. So this is an extra choice to...
Maybe it does, or maybe it hits you in the face and kills you.
So we can either squeeze through the small door, or we can hop on the table and flip the switch.
Given what you said about the door being for the chimpanzee...
You don't want to go that one?
No, because he laughed at us and I don't want to see him again.
You want to hop on the table and flip the switch?
Yeah.
Okay. You too.
Right then. You climb onto the table and wait to descend. Something's wrong. You begin to go up instead of down. You rise rapidly and crash through the skylight. Glass shatters all around you. The lift keeps going up until you're almost 2 full stories above the house. The rain is falling so heavily that you're quickly soaked and dark clouds roll on the horizon around you. You see lightning in the distance, and you're filled with horror as you realise you are now in a towering metal pillar in the middle of a thunderstorm. This is a giant lightning rod. Lightning strikes the hydraulic lift.
Of course it does.
And you feel a searing flash of heat as millions of volts pulsate through your body. The shock forces you to let go of the pole, and before you hit the ground, you black out. Forever. The end. Move back 1 space on the psychic scale and return to story card 36.
Mistake.
That's my fault again.
So we've got 44. It's your fault for suspecting the monkey.
Am I reading it?
Oh, I'll read it then, good night. Entering a child's playroom, you find a giant overstuffed toy box resting against one wall, and in the middle of the room stands a dollhouse, which appears to be a perfect replica of the Marsden house. As you approach the dollhouse, you notice that the walls of the playroom are covered with shelves full of porcelain dolls, their eyes peering down at you. It's difficult to break their gaze. The eyes seem to draw you into the blackness of their dead stares. Not looking away, you feel yourself shrinking smaller and smaller. Soon the dolls seem to loom over you, even more frightening than before, although they never move from their perches. Eventually, you're the size of a doll yourself, and you stand on the playroom floor beside the replica of the Marsden house. From where you stand, you can see the front door of the dollhouse. Oh, that looks a bit like the image on the back of that, doesn't it?
No.
Hey, okay. I'm thinking of them on the nightmare picture, the image of the man looking down.
Oh, okay.
And you've got the house in the background.
Apart from their creepy dolls.
They are creepy dolls. So I've got to enter the door of the dollhouse by going to story card 49.
That wasn't a choice, it was your doing there.
Just you doing that.
The dollhouse entry has doorways leading to the dining room, a parlour and a bedroom. Before you think about where you should go next, something distracts you. There's a force at work here, a presence you can't ignore. Something or someone seems to be calling you, drawing you onward. You can tell that this dollhouse is a hub of psychic energy, a nexus of weird power. You'll need to stay sharp.
We're not very sharp because we're still level 1 on the psychic Peter.
There's a picture with 3 doors on.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to the dollhouse, dining room, parlour or bedroom. There's no indication of which door's which.
What are the options?
Dining, parlour, bed. Parlour?
Not the living room.
Was that a living room then?
It's fancier than a living room.
Look at us in our parlour. That's weird. I thought there should be dogs there or something. A dog parlour. I don't know. Puppy parlour. Right. We're going.
I'm going to say the parlour, just because
it's a fancy
want to wind
word.
You up, yeah.
Right, 57.
A piano takes up one corner of the dollhouse parlour. A doll sits on a piano bench wearing a crown and a rich red gown, hands poised above the keys. This is the doll queen, and even though her back is turned, you feel as though she's daring you to face her in some kind of bizarre piano contest of the mind. Perhaps accepting the queen's unusual challenge and defeating her will increase your psychic skills. You notice a painting above the piano. It depicts a solarium and is so spellbindingly realistic you can't help but reach out your hand to touch it. You are amazed when your hand disappears into the painting and you can touch the solarium on the other side. This painting is a magical portal and it might be your only way out of this dollhouse.
God, lots of stuff on that card.
Optional challenge. Battle the doll queen in a psychic piano duel. If we win, we draw a clue. If we lose, we have to range the danger meter by 3.
Range the danger? You keep saying range.
I can't say raise danger meter. I can't say it.
Range the danger meter. So, what are we doing?
Battling the doll queen. If we do it, we get a clue. If we don't, we have
50-50, so it's your choice. 1.
Automatic loss.
Oh, I didn't know it was up by 3.
I just said that. Right, so I'm not trying again. Although, if we try again and we win, it might raise this up.
You raise me up. If we lose, we'll reset. But then we go into level 1 on the psychic thread. But then we should be able to roll again and get it up. Yes.
Boom.
Success.
Clue 30. Where's the one? Queen's hands don't move, but you hear her incredible piano playing swirl through the parlour as fast as the wind. Now it's your turn. Reaching out to the piano with your brain, you weave notes into an intricate manic waltz, even faster and more beautiful than the Queen's. The music dances throughout the room. The Queen's crown falls to the floor. You've bested her. You win.
3.
Keep the card, move forward 2 spaces on the psychic scale, and finish the score. The story card.
We keep that card.
That's what it says.
Okay.
Right.
Might be something that says if you got card 30 or item 30.
So we can go to the dining room, go to the bedroom. If we have clue 50,
Yeah, it's one of those.
which we don't, and want to enter the magical portal, we draw a clue. If we don't have clue 50 and want to enter the portal, we draw a different clue.
I don't think we should do that.
No. I reckon clue 50 must be in one of the other 2 rooms, maybe.
Yeah, and it might be an easier way through or something that says you don't die,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. So do you want to go to the dining room or the bedroom?
Bedroom. I like the bedroom.
Okay. 41.
Shouldn't be any fancy words in the bedroom.
Shouldn't be. Probably will be.
Sounds a bit weird, but yes. The dollhouse bedroom is filled with miniature furnishings.
Furnishings?
Furnishings, which are now full size to you. Cozy chair, a dresser, a lamp, and a bed. Lying in the bed, its head on a pillow, is a stuffed mouse. So lifelike, you catch yourself thinking you should step quietly so you don't wake it. Your psychic senses start to pulse. You get the feeling something very important is hidden in this room.
Of course.
There is something very important hidden in this room. Reaction. If you are level 3, which we are
No.
not, we can take clue 50, which is referred to on the last card.
Yeah. So we can't do that.
So can I do that? Oh, that's nice. So, okay. Nice little mouse there on our bed.
It's going to be a real mouse, isn't it? It's going to eat us.
It's got stitches. Although there's a chimpanzee playing a violin.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's that going to do?
Right. If you go to the dollhouse, so you've got the dining room or the parlour. So you've been to the parlour. Been in the dining room? Maybe
No.
the dining room. 35. So if the living room's got parlour as its funky word, why doesn't the dining room have one?
Oh,
Shouldn't the bedroom be the boudoir?
Seated at the head of the dollhouse dining room table is a doll wearing a crown. It's a doll king with oddly compelling glass eyes. They sparkle with a kind of dark power. As you look into those eyes, you sense a strange tingle in your mind. This doll is reaching out to you mentally. You don't know why, but you feel that he wants to fight you.
Oh, what?
On the plane of pure thought. You sense this could help you strengthen your psychic abilities. Around the dining room table, 2 doors lead to other rooms inside the dollhouse. Optional challenge. We can overpower the doll king with our mind. If we win, we draw a clue. If we lose, we raise the danger meter by 3.
We need some eye stuff.
Yeah.
We haven't got any eyes. And it's an instant
Lose.
fail.
So that goes up to there,
Yeah.
which takes it back down to there. That
We
goes
lose.
to there.
Okay.
Do it again.
Yeah.
One, 2, 3.
Do it again.
I'll let you roll if we do
Oh!
this
No,
time.
we lost again. Do it again.
You do it this time.
We lost again. Might as well just keep doing it now, because we can't do anything else.
Now you get a 6.
6. Woohoo!
56.
It'll be worth it. You project your thoughts at the little king, like light through a magnifying glass. You focus on the doll's mind, narrowing your thoughts into a tight beam. Finally, when you can hardly take any more, the doll blinks, and we won. Did we just have a staring contest with a doll?
Yeah.
Right. Keep this card. Move forward 2 spaces on the psychic scale, and finish your card.
So, I think the reason we have to keep these cards is so we can't keep going back to the rooms and doing it again and again.
Right.
Because it's going around in circles, isn't it? So, on each of these the 3 room cards, we can go back to...
Oh, okay, so it means we look at 56 again, and then go up on the scale. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, we're going to have to go back to the parlour and we're going to have to try and go through it without the thing. So 57, which should be in here. And we're going to have to, we have to try and enter the magic portal without the clue. So we need to draw clue 55.
You take a deep breath and jump into the portal. A pins and needles sensation spreads all over your body as you travel the dimensional pathway. When you reach the other side, you're standing in a sororium you saw in the picture. Which picture?
Painting that we've just jumped through.
You return to your normal size. Go to story card 48.
Once you've entered the solarium, you notice how the glass panes are in angular shapes that create a spider web pattern across the ceiling.
Spider web picture.
There are clay pots with exotic plants on every flat surface. Welcome, you hear a female voice say. We are so glad you found your way here. An elderly woman in a long black dress and white apron glides into view from behind a wall. She appears to be the housekeeper. She raises one finger and curls it toward her, beckoning you. We've been expecting you. Come this way, she says. Something in her voice makes you freeze. This might be trouble. You notice something shiny tucked behind a tropical shrub, but you'll probably have to deal with the housekeeper before you can investigate it. You glimpse an art gallery beyond the solarium. Scary lady. And a spider web. Optional challenge. Attempt to excuse yourself. If you are level 2 or higher on the psychic scale, you can add +1 to any roll. To the roll, sorry. But we're not. So, if we win, we draw one clue. If we lose, we draw a different clue. So, do you want to try it anyway?
Yeah, because it's more than 50-50 chance, isn't it? So.
Yeah.
So we win.
Clue 39.
Successful roll. We found a large metal rod. Looks like a lightsaber, to be honest. Lightsaber rod. You calmly explain to the woman that you'd rather not go with her, and she returns to tending her plants. You grab the shiny object before leaving and find that it's a warm to touch. Your psychic senses tell you it is an important item. You slip away to the art gallery. Keep this item and move forward 3 spaces on the psychic scale. And go to story card 32.
32.
Yeah.
Do you want to read this one?
I suppose so. Stepping into the marble-floored art gallery, you are amazed by more than 100 gold-framed paintings, plus countless abstract modern sculptures of pedestals.
On pedestal.
On pedestals. Oh, who's doing paintings of pedestals? It's a cupboard. What's it called? A pedestal? It's a cupboard? It's a drawer? A drawer?
What?
I don't know.
No, a pedestal. It's like a plinth.
Plinth? That doesn't help things.
It's like a stand.
It's a stand. It's a stand then. Right, okay.
You're thinking of pedestals that you have at work.
Yeah. Modern sculptures on a stand. There you go. Wow, the entire collection must be worth gazillions. Too bad you've got no time to admire any of it. You're eager to keep moving. French doors lead to the study. What's a French door? I'm a door. It's got frog's legs on it. And the doorway leads outside. You can see a path. You're still thinking about it.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. You can see a pathway leading to the attached structure that appears to be a mother-in-law apartment.
I want to go there.
We're not going to a mother-in-law apartment.
I want to go there.
Oh dear. If you're level 2 or higher on the psychic scale, yes! Number 54. Give me the bottom one, I think. Give me the bottom one, I think.
Hey.
Alright, yeah.
That's what it is. It looks like it's part of a picture.
That'd be a safe or something.
I was going to say, it looks a bit like it could be part of a safe.
Okay.
That's part of our premonition.
Right, so we can go through the French doors, which either open like that or like that. I
don't know. They're inside, so I'm assuming it's like that.
Okay. Or we can take the path to the mother-in-laws.
I want to go to the mother-in-laws.
Why? Why would you do that?
All right, then we'll go through the French. Where do the French doors go?
It just says through the French doors.
Look on the inside. Where do they go?
French doors lead to the study.
Okay, we'll go there then.
I want to see the mother-in-law now.
Oh, for goodness sake. Which one do you want to do?
Mother-in-law's 46. Because you've got to read the card. We die. Does our mother-in-law kill us?
You take the pathway to a wooden apartment with a quaint front porch. No one appears to be home. You try the door and find that it's open. Of course it is. You enter a room that's entirely dark except for one candlelit corner where you see a leather desk chair turned away from you with someone sitting in it.
Oh,
The chair slowly swivels to reveal
God. Not the chimpanzee!
a chimpanzee!
Not the chimpanzee!
Wearing a monocle and holding a ballpoint pen. Looking you square in the eye. Uh-oh. Looks like you interrupted his work. The chimp calmly places the pen on the desk and removes his monocle. He cracks his knuckles and stands up. It's go time, and this chimp is going for you. The chimp pounces. Required challenge. Fight the chimp.
Got a knife, I've got a knife. We're putting the knife into play.
If we win, we lower the danger meter by 5. If we lose, we raise the danger meter by 3.
Oh. So we got +1. So we're playing an item card.
We need to get 2.
So if we roll a 1, we lose the knife. The chimpanzee takes it and uses it to kill us, no doubt. But if we get a 2 or more, then we are successful. And we roll a 5, so we are successful.
So we lower that as far as it will go. After the fight, the chimp scurries away. You notice to your left there is a large metal door, which looks completely out of place here. There's also a walkway leading toward what looks like the study in the main house. Bearing in mind, we're still trying to get to the basement.
We're sort of pottering around upstairs.
Yeah. But I want to know what's behind this metal door that looks completely out of place.
Well, is this part of the metal door?
Could be.
The item that we got.
Mm.
Do what you want to do.
I'm going to go for story card 60. That's what I'm going to do.
Ha ha! What? Chapter 2 goal achieved. You shove the metal door open. When you close it behind you, clang! It sounds like the door to a jail cell slamming shut. You turn to check out where you are. There's an elevator. How every house gets to their basement. You get in and press the close door button and finally get a moment to catch your breath. Can't believe what you've been through so far. Well, neither can I. Because we've shrunk and gone into a dollhouse. And then we've come back up again and seen a chimpanzee.
Wearing a monocle.
Wearing a monocle, which I don't even know what a monocle is. I think probably gets. A little glass. Glass. Wearing a glass. Wearing a glass.
It's called a monocle.
Wearing a half and a mum. Right, anyway, sorry.
How are you 32 years old and don't know what a monocle is?
Well, now I know because you told me and it rings a bell. But monocle. I know biro. Not a pencil, a biro.
Ballpoint pen.
Oh, a ballpoint pen, sorry.
She's a biro.
It's a biro. Right, anyway, getting distracted. Can't believe what you've been through so far. But this elevator should be your ticket to the basement. And that should bring you one step closer to uncovering the mystery of the sounds you heard when you first entered the Marsden house. Now that you know where the elevator is, you wonder if you could go back and look for stuff, basically. Yeah? So do you want to go back and look for stuff?
Not really.
If we do, we've got to start ranging the danger meter.
Where can we go?
We can go to the hallway, the dining room, solarium, or the gallery. Tommy feels like we should be doing something.
We don't need to go to the gallery. If we go to the solarium, we're going to meet that woman again. And she's probably going to kill us.
One thing I didn't comment on, getting to your mother-in-law's apartment.
My mother-in-law.
Not your mother-in-law's. Does that mean my mum? I know she's probably watching. So I'm not going to go there. We're going to the mother-in-law's apartment. There's a chimpanzee.
Right.
Just saying. That your mum's a chimpanzee?
Wearing a monocle.
Wearing a monocle. Ballpoint pen.
Definitely right with a ballpoint pen.
Right, so we're not going anywhere then? Or do you want to go somewhere?
I don't know.
Good answer, good answer.
I'm thinking, like I say, it feels like we should be, but at the same time, are we needlessly raising our
danger?
Yeah.
Because we'll go there and then we've got to get back to this card, I'm guessing. You can't just go, oh, I'll finish and go back.
No, you've got to make your way to that card. There's more chances of dying. There's more chances of the psychic scale being thrown backwards. Again.
We'll leave it at that then. Next chapter.
Let's carry on.
That took us 15 minutes.
We're going to end up playing the whole game.
So I think we might as well just play the whole thing.
What time is it now?
It is 5 to 9. You want to?
Who wants to?
I want to.
We all want to.
Everyone wants to.
Let's get rid of these.
That's chapter 1.
Oh, we need that, don't we?
Trusty knife. Blunt as anything knife. Yeah. She hasn't commented, so I'm guessing she's not watching. She commented earlier on that word I couldn't say.
What, mausoleum?
Mausoleum, that's the one.
Mausoleum.
Moray. That's what I was thinking when I saw it. I didn't even look at the chapter number to make sure it's the right one, but it is, so thankfully we're fine. Right. There you go, you can start because the first one's always a long one.
Chapter 3, The Rescue. You're still not sure what's really going on in this place. You were already freaked out by the creepy stuff you saw outside the Marsden house, and the discovery of actual spirits from beyond the grave inside the house has only made you more on edge. You steel your nerves and remind yourself that you're not just an aspiring detective, you're a psychic investigator.
Damn right I am.
You eat spirits from beyond the grave for breakfast. That's what it says. In italics.
A chimpanzee hit me over the head.
Not really. But the point is you feel a surge of confidence. You can do this. At any rate, you've come way too far to turn back now. So all you can do is hope that the depths of the house hold some insight into the mysterious nightmares that have plagued you for weeks and drew you to this modern architecture house of horrors in the first place. But the elevator, which all your hopes rest on, is totally trashed. The last person to use it must have really hated elevators. Based on the scratch marks on the walls, they might have had sharp claws too. A bit chimpanzee again, isn't it? Strange sensation now washes over you. Your head spins, you lose your balance, and you fall to your knees. Although you don't quite black out, you're overwhelmed by visions as your consciousness leaves your body and travels through the house's lower reaches on mind power alone. You drift downward through a meeting room full of huge shadowy figures and a laboratory stocked with equipment. Your awareness projects deeper under the estate. You finally come to a jail cell. Your mind can't penetrate to see who is inside, but a wave of anguish emits from it like heat from the sun. You sense that the person trapped inside is responsible for what you have encountered so far and could help with what you will encounter next. Draw clue 76 to discover your goal.
It's normally the last card in the deck, but it wasn't. Changing things up. So we need to rescue the prisoner you sense from your psychic projection.
Okay.
Do you remember anything from the nightmare image?
About a prisoner.
Yeah.
There's a frog.
There's a frog. Okay.
Could be a frog.
Right, it's a frog. We focus on the frog.
I can't honestly.
You know what? It wouldn't surprise me if the prisoner was a frog. It wouldn't surprise me at all.
Your mind joins your body again as though swiftly snapping back into place. It takes you a moment to get your bearings. You're in your own body, in an elevator, in a spooky house that you somewhat regret ever setting foot inside. You check the panel and find that all the buttons have been pried off except 2. They might be for the only active basement levels. Of course, it's also possible they're just the floors that whoever wrecked this elevator wants to lure you to. With a whoosh, the elevator doors briskly close. So we can either go to sub-basement 2 or sub-basement 3.
Did that text give us any clue about either one of those?
No. Apart from the fact that they're the only two that are available. And it shows you on picture there.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah, that's you.
Right.
But they're the only two ones available. But no, it doesn't tell us. Got a picture of. Sorry, come back to me. That's a picture of the jail cell in the prison, but there's no clue as to what level that's on.
Okay.
I would like to think that if I was building a jail in the basement of my house, that I would build it on the very bottom level, so it's harder to get out.
I'm thinking about planning buildings now. We don't need to be doing that. We really don't.
So basement 3 then.
Right. You're beneath all the prisoners above you. Oh. The elevator drops with a sudden jerk and continues to sub-basement 3. The door opens up into a room with tables folding. They're not folding.
They're holding.
They're holding. Tables holding funnels, glass beakers. I need to breakers. What? What are you getting
Jars
for?
full of funny coloured.
We've done jars. The door was a jar.
Yeah, whatever.
So they're holding funnels, glass beakers, test tubes, thermometers, and safety goggles. It looks like a biochemistry lab. It's a complete wreck, just like the elevator, so you can add biochemistry to the list of things the vendor had a grudge against. Why has someone got a grudge against them? Because it's messy.
Right.
There's a desk in the corner. Based on the pattern of stuff scattered on the floor, it appears someone was dragged away from it by force and then taken out a door and down the hall. Have I said that wrong?
I don't know, you've got the count.
Just didn't sound right. Based on the pattern of the stuff scattered on the floor, it appears someone was dragged away from it by force and then taken out a door and down a hall. Yeah, that makes sense. Right. My brain doesn't work. Another door leads into a room where you can see a large glass vats full of glowing blue liquid. There's blue liquid on the picture. Right. Now there's a picture of broken stuff. So we can follow the path of destruction down the hallway or enter the room with the glass vats glowing blue liquid.
I want to investigate the blue liquid.
67.
You drown in the blue liquid.
You drown.
You have to start paying him royalties soon. This catchphrase. You see rows and rows of glowing blue vats, all filled with chimpanzees.
You are joking.
All filled with chimpanzees in various stages of development.
No.
Have
they got violins?
No, not yet.
They got ballpoint pens and those glass things in their eye.
The largest ones are as big as adult humans. Someone is bending the laws of nature to an ethical extremes down here. The vats are plugged into a utility box on the wall. On top is a glowing cap with 3 crystals. It might be some kind of power source. Something about this crystalline cap calls to you. It feels important. From the utility box, cords and wires run into an adjoining room through a propped open door. There's also a conveyor belt that leads through an opening in the far wall. The belt is moving slowly and the motion is mildly hypnotic. Optional challenge. Pry the crystalline cap loose. If we win, we draw a clue. If we lose, we raise the danger meter by 2. It's a strength challenge.
Okay. So we can either use a wooden dowel
or some
shears. They both give +2 to our dice roll.
Okay. If we roll a 1,
then we lose it.
We lose it anyway.
I still think we should use something.
Come on then, use the shears. I rolled a 1.
Loser. We try again.
You may try again. Don't lose that one.
3.
Hey.
So we win that one.
So we get clue 87.
Fiddle. What? A crystalline cap.
Yeah.
Let me out, I can read.
Well done.
You pry the crystalline cap from the utility box. Even unplugged, it keeps glowing. The object gives you a shiver. Psychic senses tell you this is an important item.
Of course I did.
This is an important item. Keep the card, move 3 spaces on the scale. Finish card 67.
Oh.
Loads of stuff.
Right. So now we need to make our story choice. So we can either follow the cords through the door, or we can jump on the conveyor belt to see where it goes. I don't want to jump on the conveyor belt to see where it goes.
Why not?
Because I get the feeling it's going to lead us to a load of chimpanzees who are going to kill us in various ways.
The chimpanzees.
We can go that way. If you
Seriously, is there chimpanzees on the picture?
There are seriously chimpanzees in the jars on the picture.
Right. Okay.
So we're going to go follow the cord, yeah?
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever you say.
Yeah.
The room is filled with generators of every shape and size. They all look extremely unsafe. In fact, one of the older, larger ones has a huge crack in its casing, but it's still running, with irregular bursts of electricity arcing from it to every nearby surface.
Right.
You'd rather not get too close to it, but you will have to if you want to investigate the door to a vault on the other side.
Ooh.
There's vault things on the picture.
Yeah.
The only other exit isn't a door at all, but a massive hole in the wall that leads into total darkness. As you feel around the dark for a light switch, you discover the passageway isn't so much a hallway as a tunnel, with rough walls that have been dug out of rock and soil. So you could either go past the generator or go into darkness.
I think we need to go past the generator. I don't want to, but it mentions about the vault.
68.
If you ever find yourself running a criminal organisation, here's a great way to weed out your dumbest and least trustworthy henchmen. Put a big, tempting vault door behind a deadly piece of machinery that kills anyone who gets within 3 feet of it. Unfortunately, the trick works on young psychic investigators as well.
What?
You press your back against the far wall and try to scooch toward the vault door as safely as possible. But it's no use. 100,000 volts of electricity surge through you and your smouldering body slumps to the floor dead. The end. That's a good picture though. That's what's happened to us. Move back 2 spaces on the psychic scale and return to card 72. So we need to take the tunnel into darkness, which is card 87. Are you going to read this one or do you want me to read this one?
I'll read this one. Here I am. You can't see more than a few feet in front of you as you walk down the tunnel. So when a man's voice calls out from the darkness, you almost jump out of your skin. Hey you! You freeze! What now? Are you the new lab assistant? No, I've done that wrong. Hey you! We freeze, what now? You didn't say you freeze, what now? You're the new lab assistant, right? It's about time you got here. You have the briefcase? Don't have a briefcase.
No.
You have clue 38.
No. He's going to
Do
kill
not.
us, isn't he?
Draw clue 82.
Clue 82.
Yeah.
The man spits on the tunnel floor. Was it not clear that you were supposed to meet me here with the briefcase? He says. Raise the danger meter by 3. And finish story card 87.
The man rushes back down the tunnel in the direction he came from, his footsteps booming in the darkness. There's a door with iron bars built into the wall here. It looks like it could lead to some sort of cell or maybe a kennel. It's unlocked. I'm not going to kennels again. Get killed by dogs. So we can follow the man, or we can open the cell door to see what's inside.
Either way, sounds like we're going to die.
Yeah. I'll take 62.
You slide open the barred door. It looks much more industrial than the other rooms you've been in. The door slides shut on its own. Clang, and you hear it lock behind you.
Oh.
You see some kind of gated structure down the hallway in front of you, and quickly press yourself against the wall when you realise that two figures are guarding it. There's also a desk on the side of the room that's out of the guard's line of sight. Premonition. If you are level 3 or higher.
Nope.
No. So we can either try our luck with the guards, or we can sneak across the room to the desk.
Last time we sneaked, we died.
Yeah.
So I think we should sneak again, because it's unlikely that we'll die again.
You want to sneak?
Yeah.
Okay. 3.
You make it to the desk unnoticed. The only thing here is a fancy new computer. It's a shiny beige box underneath a monitor that glows with rows of green text and a blinking command prompt. If you can manage to break through the computer security, you might find some useful information stored on its internal memory.
Oh!
Hacks. So operational? Optional challenge. Search computer for information. If you're level 3, which we are not. Okay. We can still do it. We just don't get a bonus.
Okay.
So we win, we get a clue. If we lose, we raise the danger meter by 2. We're always going to do it. We're always going to lose it.
Lose.
The one way out of here is down a hall to a gate, which is guarded by 2 chimps. What is it with the chimps? So here we go to option number 74.
The 2 guards are huge chimpanzees as tall as you are. They are walking upright just like you are. They are wearing security guard uniforms, just like you are not. They notice this key difference. They attack. We've got a required challenge, which is to battle the guards.
So we can use our knife, which will give us a +1 to the dice roll.
We basically need to keep doing this until we beat them.
Okay.
Sweet.
We beat them. Give me my knife back.
Once you defeat the chimpanzee guards, you find that the gate will only open with an electronic key card. If you have clue 28 or 77.
No.
No. So we can't open the gate. So we have to go to story card 88.
Wrong side. Without that key card, you're trapped and you can't get past the gate, and you can't leave the detention centre through the locked door. Just as you're about to give up, you spot a hole in the ceiling tiles, mostly obscured by shadows in the corner of the room. Go through the hole in the ceiling by drawing clue 70. Joe. The hole opens up into a vertical shaft, which haphazardly placed handholds like a climbing wall. With haphazardly placed handholds like a climbing wall. You found a secret passage. Required challenge: ascend the shaft. Lower. Yeah, so we need to climb in, but we haven't got climbing, have we?
Nope.
So if we win, we get All right, sorry about that. I think we lost audio for a bit there. I don't know how long it was, so we'll just keep on from now. There's a secret passageway carved into the stone wall here, but someone has piled up a bunch of rocks to block the entrance. So we need strength. So we can use strength for that one. So we need 2 or more. We get 3. So lower the danger meter by 1 and get clue 79.
That's important. I'll get out of here.
Halfway down the passage, you find a chimpanzee sitting at a desk.
Another one.
He's smoking cigarettes and watching TV. He looks angry. We need fists for this one. So yeah, we need to fight the chimpanzee.
Yep.
And we succeed, so we get number 75 and lower that by 1, but it's already at the bottom.
Still working?
I believe so. Let me just check it's working. Hopefully someone will tell me if it's working or not. You run past the chimp and right into a 10-foot guinea pig.
Literally.
It is adorable and it can kill you. Attack it, fighting, sneak past it, dexterity, heave a table at it, strength, climb over it, climbing, or find another solution, perception. So we can use any of these to try and kill it.
The one that we've got this.
So do we want to use
it doesn't
the
make
bell?
a difference, does it? Because we can't have a 1 anyway. So either one of those.
Which one do we want to lose less though?
I don't know.
Should we just go with that then?
Yeah, because I think you said that the
we'll use a knife then, and then
dowel wasn't.
Need a 2 or more, and we get a 2. So we lower the danger meter by 2 and draw clue 77. We have found a key card.
Hooray!
You see an access key card on the floor. You grab it and run through the doors in front of you, unsure of what's on the other side. Go to story 69. Let you read that.
You are now in a chamber with 3 prison cell doors. They're heavy iron things with small barred windows that make it difficult to see what might be inside. There's a ring of 3 keys hanging from a nail on the wall. Ta-da! Do we want to try cell A, B or C?
I don't know. I haven't really got any information about it.
No. Oh, I don't know. Let's go for C. Someone's sleeping on the cot in cell C with a thin blanket pulled over their face. You can wake the prisoner up so you can talk to him, attack him before he can attack you, or just tiptoe out of the cell. So what do we want to do?
You're the boss.
Let's try talking to him. So 67. He's actually.
You gently shake the prisoner by the shoulder. He flings the blanket from his face. It's an exhausted-looking man who's obviously relieved that someone has finally come to rescue him. Thank you. I'm Professor Marsden, he says. Marsden, you ask? Are you related to Henry Marsden? Yes, this was the estate of my ancestor, General Marsden, but at the moment we have more urgent things to discuss. Go to story card 90.
Hey! Chapter 3, goal achieved.
Yes!
Professor Marsden looks worried. You have to help me stop my former research assistant, he says. She's twisted our scientific research for evil. So she's responsible for all these chimps, you ask? Yes, he says, but there's something bigger afoot. I'm talking about the alien science. Marston says he can provide all the answers you're looking for, but you should first make sure you're prepared to leave this section of the house behind. He can give you explicit directions to important locations if you think you might have missed anything. So we can go back to the biochemistry lab.
Oh, we said we're not going to go back for anything, didn't we?
Yeah.
So just leave it.
Okay.
Cool. Next one. Yeah, let's carry on. Let's crack on.
Okay. We're going to feed some more by 10 o'clock.
Wow, what's happening at 10 o'clock?
I'm just saying, 10 o'clock. It seems like a...
The bedtime?
Yeah. It just seems like a...
Well, that one took us about 25 minutes, I think.
Yeah, that's because we had to crawl through some...
Yeah, that's got ages.
Vents and stuff.
How many cards do we have to pull out for that? Well, I'm going to have to go to the loo, though.
Okay, I might go and get some snacks.
Snacks. If you are, shouldn't you go now?
True. No, because you said
just sitting there.
Please, you're going for a work.
Yeah, I'm doing this. Alright then, we'll be back in a second. You have a look at the nightmare and see if you can find anything else on there.
Don't feel like we do very well. Don't feel like we do very well.
Snacks, snacks, snacks. Snackity snacks. Right. Let's eat some food first. It's hungry work, looking at all these chimpanzees and stuff.
Like a rock.
Alright. You can talk first.
I've still got half my thing left, you can talk first.
Oh, I'm going to beer. Oh. Right, you can start while I get a beer.
You going to store it?
Take that, blood.
Pardon?
Go on.
Forgot my rifle. Chapter 4. The Hideout. After encountering dangers outside the house, facing multiple ghosts inside the house, discovering an underground laboratory, and stumbling upon angry chimpanzees, you're ready to get some answers about this place and the nightmares that brought you here. The mysterious phone call I got this morning, you say. It was you, wasn't it? Phone call? What phone call? Wait, he couldn't have found a way to access the phone lines, could it? Professor Marston's eyes go wide. Then he sees the look on your face and shakes his head. Well, that's not important right now, he says. Something about his tone leads you to suspect it is important, but you don't push it. If you manage to get this far, you must be quite the aspiring detective. And psychic investigator, you add. You go on to tell him about the recurring nightmares that drove you to delve into this whole bizarre mystery. Nightmares? He asks. Fascinating. If your dreams mean what I think they do, then I'm glad you're here. I can explain more later, but right now, getting the neuron inhibitor mainframe is the crucial thing. It's the only way to retake the lab from my dastardly former lab assistant, Carol.
Carol. Carol.
Carol.
Carol.
He says the name in a hoarse whisper, as if speaking it aloud could summon some ancient evil. Together, we discovered a source of technology far beyond anything this world has ever seen. But she betrayed me. She used our work to take control of the chimpanzees and start a counterfeiting ring with a local crime syndicate. We made scientific discoveries worthy of Einstein, of Galileo, and then she just uses it all to... He trails off. I'm sorry, I've been locked in here so long that I've forgotten my manners. Now that you've freed me, I can open a secret passage for you that will lead to the neuron inhibitor mainframe. It will take you through the area where our most experimental work was being conducted. Be careful, it can get dangerous in there. Is it just me who's going? You ask with fear in your voice. Yes, he says. I'll need to monitor your progress from the operations room, where I have access to the security system. Here, use this earpiece so we can communicate. Draw clue 91 to discover your goal.
Disable.
Disable.
Disable the neuron inhibitor mainframe. Mainframe.
Mainframe.
Yeah, we've got to disable something.
The clear glass door leads to the temporal manipulation lab, the professor continues. The frosted glass door goes to the psychic development room. The professor takes off for the operations room as a secret passage opens from the empty jail cell next door. The two glass doors are now before you. Too bad the professor didn't explain which route was the best way to get to the neuron inhibitor mainframe.
Oh.
So do we want to go to the temporal manipulation lab or the psychic development room?
What's the first one called again?
Temporal manipulation lab.
That sounds like something's going to happen to us. We're going to manipulate us. Temporally.
Yeah, but it also sounds like it's to do with the brain, which is or would also be a neuron inhibitor, maybe.
Right.
But then if we go to the psychic development room, it might develop our psychic skills so we can move up here.
Pow! Good thinking, Batman.
115.
Oh, it's me. Wrong side. This room features several rows of blue metal chairs. Dome-shaped helmets attached to an odd-looking device hang above the chairs. There's also a large glass tube big enough for you to step into, with a door on the side. A green button is accessible from inside the tube.
Of course.
That's where all the chimpanzees go.
Mm-hmm.
You slowly realise you've seen these machines before. In photos in the reference book Ghosts and Ghouls, which you have on your bookshelf at home. The photos were in the chapter about how rogue psychotherapists, no, it's not that, parapsychologists, it's a big word, I can't say big word. Look for the big word.
Parapsychologists.
That's the one. So I said it was parapsychologists. Don't believe me. About how rogue parapsychologists were attempted to give ordinary people psychic abilities. If you remember correctly, the blue chairs are attached to machines intended to give the subject, some more fancy words, pyrokinesis.
Probably. Where am I looking?
But it's just a fancy word.
Pyrokinesis.
Yeah, I got it right. Hey. Machines intend to give the subject pyrokinesis, the ability to start fires with mind control. The large glass tube is an energizing chamber that gives people telekinesis. That's one. The ability to move objects with one's mind. Both seem ready to go. A metal stairwell on the far side of the room leads to some sort of observation booth, which overlooks the room you're in and possibly others. So we can sit in the pyrokinesis chair, the telekinesis energizing chamber, or skip this weird equipment and climb the stairs to the observation booth? What's the difference between
Pyrokinesis
pyro's setting fire and the other one's
is
moving
moving
stuff?
stuff with your mind, yeah.
We don't really want to do either, do we?
But it still might increase, or it might kill us.
I'd say skip this weird stuff
Okay.
and go to card 99.
I think we probably missed out on stuff.
Alright, make me feel bad.
The observation booth has thick windows that look down into a circular chamber where you see a human-sized chimp in a hospital gown sitting at a table. The poor animal's head is shaved and hugely swollen. Electrodes attached to pulsing veins. The chimp is gazing intently at a small wooden boat which is floating in mid-air above the table. The chimpanzee sees you, and the moment his eyes meet yours, you start to black out. You break eye contact just before losing consciousness and decide you'd better exit this room quickly. Next to a fire extinguisher on the wall is a map, which gives you a quick overview of this area. You orient yourself and see that the observation booth is next to the cryogenics lab and the supercomputer room. There's a nice picture of a flying boat there. Or floating boat. If you go to the cryogenics lab, go to one cave, go to the supercomputer room. I'll go to the
Supercomputer room, because we like computers, and it sounds super. As soon as you enter the room, the computer lights up. Present your credentials, a digital voice demands. It must be the computer. You mutter something about being the new lab assistant. I judge that to be false. You have come here seeking answers. My memory banks contain all the information you desire, but access is forbidden. You don't see a keyboard, so apparently voice commands is the only way it will interact with this thing. Unless, of course, you can best me in a competition of my choosing, the computer continues. Be wary, human. No flesh creature has ever defeated me and my limitless mind. So free action. If you agree to compete with the supercomputer, we get to draw a clue.
I reckon it's going to need us to be quite high on the psychic scale. Maybe.
Well, we're on nothing, aren't we, at the moment, so we just leave it then.
Then again, we might miss out on something.
Leave it. There are two rooms leading out of the super room computer? The supercomputer room. You start to open the door and the computer shouts, "Do not attempt to enter the armory." You start to open the other door and the computer shouts, "Do not attempt to enter the observatory." This computer may be pushy, but it's also quite informative. Observatory or armory?
We've just been in the observatory, haven't we?
Have we?
The observation room.
That's an observation room. Observatory could be something else. These fancy words.
Could be so.
Alright, let's go to the armory then and get shot. 94.
You enter the armory. The door closes behind you and then you hear it lock automatically. The room is nearly empty and you realise with a shudder that whatever weapons are usually kept here are probably in the hands of people, or chimps, roaming the halls outside. The only thing left is a massive artillery gun mounted on a swivel in the centre of the room. There are also a bunch of lockers lining one wall if you'd like to search through them.
Yes, because they're on the nightmare image, weren't they? Lockers along the wall.
Optional challenge, search the lockers.
Yeah.
As in if you are level 3 or higher, which we're not. So yeah.
So what?
So
Let's get 3 or more.
3 or more.
We roll a 5.
Do. So we get clue 92.
I'll let you read this one.
Thanks. Hypersonic isotropic resonator.
That's why I want you to read that one.
You find a tech catalogue with details on an object called a hypersonic isotropic resonator. If you have clue 87...
Don't think we do. Oh, 87.
Oh, we do. Ooh. Keep this item and move forward 2 spaces on the psychic scale. Yay!
Huzzah.
There's a door here, and you can see through its window that it leads into a stairwell. Unfortunately, this door is locked. The artillery gun you found has a shell in it, though, so you could probably blast your way through. As a matter of fact, why limit yourself? With that thing, you could probably get through the wall opposite the door. Instant shortcut. So we can either blow a hole through the door to the stairwell, or blow a hole through the wall. We're blowing a hole through something.
Through the wall.
Okay. 97.
You carefully navigate stray chunks of masonry and find yourself in a laboratory. There's a closet-sized metal box here, big enough for you to get into, connected by a computer terminal. Some notes you find scattered on the desktop contain terms like a DNA decoding unit and cellular replicator. You know what this thing is for? Clones. It makes clones. You're sure of it? Well, 90% sure. There's a flashing red light on the terminal that might mean something's not working properly. But the computer is so old, it uses punch cards. You just know that trying to figure out what's wrong with the computer would be a huge pain. There's a time clock on the wall above a column of time cards with a handwritten index card that says Observatory Employees next to it is a stairwell leading upwards. Next to it is a stairway leading upwards. Free action. If we're level 4, but we are not. So we can't do that.
Okay.
So we can either try and clone ourselves. We just go come out as a monkey.
I was going to say, that sounds like a bad idea.
Or we can take the stairs to the observatory.
Let's do that.
108.
You go up a long flight of stairs that leads to an observatory where you find Professor Marsden staring at the stars. How did you get here first, you ask? It's all my fault, he murmurs sadly, lost in thought. We reached out to the stars and they reached back. But when the creature made contact, we got greedy and captured him for further study. I fear your nightmares mean he's sending out telepathic messages in hopes of being rescued. If you want them to end, you must set the creature free. This is why, the professor continues, we need to take back the compound from Carol, disable the neuron inhibitor mainframe controlling the chimpanzees, and free the alien ambassador. Carol watches over the mainframe constantly, he continues, so you'll be heading into great danger. Make sure you're fully prepared before you move on. There's a hallway to the mess hall and a back door that leads outside the house. Right, this is letting us go back if we want to at this point.
Oh, so we've not even...
We've not finished the chapter yet, but if we want to, we can go back.
What's it going to cost us?
Going up by 3 on the danger meter for each one.
Nah.
So we can either go to the temporal manipulation lab, psychic development room, the armoury, or the observation booth. Sure?
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to go to the mess hall or leave the house through the back door?
We can't really leave the house, can we? Well,
we can, because it's an option.
But then you just reach and go, although I would say leave the house through the back door. And they're like, oh, there's the mainframe.
Yeah.
You can do it. It's up to you.
Let's try the mess hall. Although, go to the mess hall, there's going to be a load of chimpanzees in there, isn't there?
I like chimpanzees.
Now let's go outside the back door.
Okay.
Chimpanzee.
Outside the house, you find that the storm has intensified. The rain is falling sideways now, and severe winds sting your face. There's light coming from the partially open bay door of an aircraft hangar a short distance away, and if you could creep along against the wall, you could probably avoid detection and most of the weather on your way there. In the darkness, you can also make out the silhouette of something large and round on the lawn. You're not sure what it is, but after Professor Marston's story about captured psychic aliens, you make a good guess. Premonition, if we're level 4.
Nope.
No. We're way up level 4. We're level 2. So we can go for the hangar or check out a large round object. Kind of looks like an egg.
Check out the object.
Doing the object. 114.
You sneak over to the big round object. This thing is a spaceship. It has a cold ceramic skin and it's perfectly smooth. You can't find a single bolt or seam. From here you can see a window to the main house, where a whole bunch of chimpanzees are gathered around a boardroom table with a woman at the front of the room at a computer console. It's Carol.
Carol's back.
First things first, you climb aboard the aircraft, look at the instruments, and get the psychic sensation that you already possess the knowledge to operate the vehicle. There's a metal lock protecting the control panel though. If you could bust it, you might be able to get this thing moving. Optional challenge, break the lock. If we do it, we can draw a clue. Yeah, one.
Using this, yeah?
Yeah.
So we need a 2 or more. I could see a 1 coming out then.
101. Through brute force, you manage to break the lock, but you damage the ship's controls in the process. You're tossed from the cockpit as the vehicle lurches a few inches into the air and rockets across the lawn straight toward the room full of chimpanzees.
These chimps.
What was it?
107. There's a large sliding glass door that opens into a meeting room, but the egg-shaped ship misses it entirely and crashes straight through the wall. A space cannon emerges from a hatch in the ship's hull and starts firing laser beams at random into the room. The chimps go bananas.
Hey!
It's total chaos. You couldn't have created a better distraction if you planned it. You jump out of the ship, if you move quickly and stealthily, and somehow manage to avoid the rampaging chimps and the uncontrolled laser fire, maybe you can disable the new uninhabited mainframe before anyone stops you. Required challenge. Disable the mainframe. So we got to keep rolling until we do it with feet. So we need at least a 3 and we got a 3.
Boom.
So we go to story card 113.
The computer doesn't have a button that's clearly labelled off, so you hit the new uninhibited mainframe console as hard as you can with a chair, and sparks fly from it. Every chimpanzee in the room instantly passes out and falls to the floor. The egg ship has apparently run out of laser juice too, because the cannon sputters and lowers back into its hatch. Carol, however, is still a problem. "My computer!" she screams. "My chimpanzee! My meeting room wall! Who even are you?" She flies at you in a rage. She definitely wants to kill you, and she seems to be giving it everything she's got. Required challenge, knock out the dastardly Carol.
Carol!
I'll let you roll it.
Right, so we need to get a 2 or more to defeat her. And we get a 2.
There you go, story card 105.
Chapter 4, goal achieved. You've thwarted Carol's evil plot. freed a whole mansion full of super intelligent chimpanzees and broken up a counterfeiting ring. On top of that, you've helped Professor Marston win back control of his lab. Now we'll have plenty of time to consider the implications of his blind pursuit of knowledge and devote the rest of his career to making things right again. All that's left to do is bask in your supreme triumph. You sit in Carol's chair, lean back, and put your feet up on what remains of the meeting room table, confident that your job here is done.
No, it's not, because there's another chapter.
Or is it? Da-da-da. Go to story card 120. Ooh.
An alarm sounds and about 50 lights on the neuron inhibitor mainframe console start blinking. Professor Marston comes running into the room. Oh no, he mutters under his breath. That thing's probably just malfunctioning, you say. I really did a number on it. You both jolt back as a strange booming voice comes from a speaker on the neuron inhibitor mainframe console. The full force of the Chrysalic Armada is upon you, it says. We demand the release of our ambassador. Although we hate violence, we will reduce your entire planet to galactic rubble if you do not obey us. The significance of this moment hits you. You've just heard the words of an actual alien life form. The professor is as pale as a ghost. Let's release the alien, you say. That's what we're planning to do anyway, right? About that, he says, it may not be quite so simple.
Never that simple.
Advance to chapter 5.
Chapter 5, chapter 5, chapter 5. So the plan was just to do one chapter. And so far we're on the last chapter.
Finish it.
Really enjoying it though?
Yeah. I do kind of wish we'd gone into it maybe in a bit more depth and explored a bit more.
Well, you said you didn't want to.
I know.
We can always play it again.
Yeah.
Just so we kind of know what we're doing. Dee.
We'll soon know if we needed to explore a lot more. You starting off this time?
Nope.
Chapter 5. The Invasion. You've crossed the deadly estate surrounding the Marsden house, come face to face with spirits from beyond the grave, and found yourself at the mercy of strange scientific experiments. You fought oversized, super-intelligent chimpanzees, freed them from mind control, and discovered a counterfeiting ring along the way. Now a fleet of UFOs is barreling toward Earth, and unless you can free the imprisoned alien ambassador before they arrive, the entire planet is doomed. The alien is locked away in the old prison beneath the mansion, Professor Marston says. It's a dangerous labyrinth, not easily navigated. What are you talking about? You reply. There are 3 cells in that place. We were there 45 minutes ago. That's the new prison, the professor says, where antisocial chimpanzees are held until they can be rehabilitated. The entire compound is built over the ruins of an old prison which burned down more than a century ago. My great-great-great-grandfather was the warden. You remember your strange out-of-body visions in the elevator and the deep sense of foreboding that came with them. We should never have put him down there, the professor says. The prison has always been a horrible, cursed place, but now that the creature has found a way to make contact with the world outside his cell... Wait a second, you say. The alien ambassador isn't just responsible for my nightmares, is he? The alien was the one who called me this morning. But how did he even find me? The phone book is full of private investigators with far more experience than I have. You suddenly remember, however, that your Yellow Pages ad doesn't list you as an aspiring detective. It lists you as a psychic investigator. I'll find the alien, you say, to reassure yourself as much as the professor. I was born to do this. Before he can respond, the professor notices something on the mainframe console and gasps. The alien armada will enter the Earth's atmosphere in just 20 minutes. You must find the alien ambassador and free him quickly, or all is lost. Draw clue 108. to discover your
So we've
goal.
got 20 minutes.
We've got 20 minutes.
We've got 7 minutes till 10 o'clock. And that was a cut off, wasn't it? But,
One away.
One away.
Yeah, if we haven't done it by 10 o'clock, that's it. Got to put it all away.
Bedtime. So we've got to release the alien ambassador and attempt to save planet Earth. This has escalated quite epically.
It really has, hasn't it?
So first of all, we were trying to find a house, and now we're saving the planet
Yeah.
by releasing an alien after we've seen a chimpanzee with a monocle thing in his eye.
And playing a violin.
Yeah, with a ballpoint pen.
Okay, you say. You've been down there before, right? Do you have a map? No. Carol handled all of that.
Carol!
All I know is that there are 2 ways to get into the structure. Through the original prison entrance around the back of the house and through a long dark hallway that I've always been too afraid to investigate.
Oh, joy.
Don't forget to keep your earpiece turned on so we can communicate. So do we go for the prison entrance or do we go for the hallway?
Hallway!
You really want to go for the hallway?
I don't mind. Surely you can't die on the first card that comes out. Okay, we can die on the first card that comes out.
Alright, 1, 3, 3.
Yeah, it feels we should be a lot higher up on the psychic scale because a lot of the last ones said if you was level 4, I think, wasn't it? After 50 yards, the hallway connects to an older passageway with halls of crumbling brick. You wonder why Professor Marston built an entirely new underground laboratory when he could have simply renovated the old prison structure. Soon the answer presents itself. It's because the entire place is utterly infested with ghosts. There's a creepy little dude here. I don't know what one. Here's number 124. That could mean something.
Oh,
who knows?
Maybe.
A spectral figure in a black and white striped uniform floats towards you. He probably died when the prison burnt down because he's on fire. Okay.
Okay. Fair enough.
Does ghost fire burn living people on the way normal fire does? Didn't say that right, did I? Does ghost fire burning living
living people?
Yeah, right, okay. The spirit attacks, so you're about to find out. Punch. So you got a knife if we want to use that. So you can fight him. Have we got clue 58?
No.
We would have automatically won. Never mind. So it's a required challenge. What are you doing?
I'm just putting that down. It's
No,
all.
that's that way.
Oh,
So yeah, so we need to kill him. So we need. We've lost that then. We've lost our knife because we rolled a 1, so it automatically lose the item. So we need a 3.
does that go up?
Oh, yeah, by 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So we need a 4 or more now. 5. Move forward 2 spaces on the psychic scale.
Yep.
From here, you can leave the room through a rotting wooden door or a hole in the brick wall that leads to a tunnel. So do we go through a door or a tunnel?
Door.
137.
There's a closed door on the far side of this room. You're startled to see a guard in a pale uniform standing in front of it, his back turned towards you. All new inmates must report to the laundry room to be issued clothing, he mutters without turning around. This throws you for a loop. You didn't expect to find anyone down here. He turns suddenly, revealing that his head is a partially transparent, bone-white skull, empty eye sockets burning red with rage. All new inmates must report to the laundry room, the apparition screeches. He gestures toward an old rope and pulley elevator, presumably intending for you to climb into it. But if you want to find out what's behind the door across the room, you're going to have to fight the ghost guard to reach it. Optional challenge, fight the ghost guard. We haven't got clue 58, have we? Was that the other one? So we can fight it, but if we lose, then the danger meter goes up by 4 again. Or we can just do as he's told us to do and get into the elevator.
Just do as told. Just do it easy.
Clue 118.
Clue 118.
Yeah.
You climb inside the elevator and grab the rope dangling in front of you. As you pull down sharply, then again and again, the elevator slowly descends. Finally, you reach the next floor down and step out of the elevator and walk into the room. Story card 131.
The room is filled with sheets and blankets that have apparently been brought to life somehow. They're floating through the air like the sort of phony ghosts you might have seen in an elementary school haunted house. It's the least scary thing you've seen this whole time you've been exploring the Marsden residence, and possibly your entire life. There are quite a few of them though, which makes it hard to get a clear view of the room. As you stumble through, you get sucked in the face by blankets over and over. You sense that there might be something valuable in here. It could be worthwhile to search the room.
I think we should search the room.
Optional challenge. Dodge the floating sheets and search the room. If we win, we get a clue. If we lose, we raise the meter by 2.
Again, it's 50-50 chance.
Yeah, go on.
I need a 4 and I get a 2.
We can't do it again. It doesn't say we can do it again.
Okay.
So, there's an open entryway through which you can see the steam heat generator in a boiler room. To the right of the entryway is the long-handled door of a laundry chute. So do you want to go to the boiler room or jump down the chute?
I don't know.
I would say probably down the chute.
Go to the chute then. Not going to get stuck down the chute, are
Probably.
we? Intriguing. You crawl inside and quickly find that it's impossible to get any traction. You tumble and slide down about 30 feet, right into the old prison incinerator. The good news is that it hasn't been lit in over a century.
And a laundry chute.
Yeah, makes sense, doesn't it, really? Bad news is when the ghost of a whole bunch of... Read that wrong. Bad news is that when the ghosts of a whole bunch of people who were killed by burning gather in one place, you often see a phenomenon that paranormal researchers call ghost fire. And you may not know this, but ghost fire burns like crazy.
Of course it does.
The end. Move back 3 space on the psychic scale and return to the previous card.
We're getting into the boiler room then.
Yep.
Does anyone get the boiler room? Because I thought that might happen. 1, 2, 2. There's a massive furnace here. It doesn't work anymore, but it survived the fire in good condition otherwise. The rest of the room is empty. You don't even see any ghosts, but some impulse tells you to take a closer look at the furnace. You spot something shiny inside. You can't tell what it is from where you're standing, but there's room to crawl inside the huge furnace if you're curious. We can either try and grab the shiny thing inside the furnace, or we can leave the furnace alone and head to the next room. I'm going to say go into the next room.
Okay, do that then.
Because if we try and reach the shiny thing inside the furnace, it
Shiny,
takes us to
shiny.
the card that we just read. 138.
The professor's voice comes over your communication earpiece. Watch out! This is the section of the prison where the most dangerous inmates were held. One of the cells looked like it was being remodeled quite recently. It has lead panels covering most of the original bars.
Lead panels.
What?
Lead panels.
It says lead.
It's lead?
Well, why don't they spell it differently?
I don't know.
Stupid people. It has lead panels covering most of the original bars. But through a small opening in the door, you see a crystalline entity levitating above the floor, moaning softly. It's the alien ambassador!
Hey!
At the top of the door, just below the ceiling, you see a high-tech lock behind a thick layer of transparent material. If you had something like a revolver, You could try shooting the lock open. It would probably take a really careful aim and a very steady hand. Otherwise, you're going to have to find another way into the cell. Required challenge. Only if you have clue 63, which we do not.
No.
So it's only required if you have that clue. If you do not have clue 63, continue below. There's a burnt out corridor leading away from this area. Follow the corridor and see where it leads by going to story card 141. So we found him, but we can't
get to him.
Rubbish.
This is the old cafeteria, and dozens of ghost prisoners are milling around, along with one frail-looking female spectre in a tattered dress. At last, she says when she sees you, I've finally made contact with the other side. Hi, she says. She puts her translucent hand on yours. I'm the medium charged with shepherding the poor lost spirits to their final resting places. Go toward the light. You don't belong here with us among the living. But you're... You finally decide it's not worth arguing with her about which one of you is dead. The walls here are in bad shape, with 2 holes big enough for you to fit through. One hole is pitch black, and the other is lit up with a green glow. Go into the light, the ghost screams as you contemplate your choices. So we can either go into the dark hole or into the lit up hole.
Well, we've been told to go to the light.
I will go into the lit up hole.
Okay. Wrong.
1, 4, 5.
You find yourself in the old infirmary. Inmates died on a regular basis here while the prison was in operation, so it was haunted even before the fire. Now it's home to the oldest and most... what?
Cantankerous?
Yeah, what's that mean?
Grumpy.
It was home to the most grumpy ghosts in the entire subterranean complex. They've spent decades collecting, repairing and polishing scalpels, bone saws and other implements of crude 19th century medicine, just waiting for some hapless creature to stumble in there and be their patient. Today's their lucky day, but not ours. The end. Move back 3 spaces on the psychic scale and return to story card 141.
We're going into the dark hole then.
So we're getting killed by those guys. It's rubbish. Told you not to go to the light.
The tunnel leads to an exit high up on the wall of a large lead-lined prison cell. Beneath you, the crystalline form of the crystallic ambassador lies motionless on the floor. The ambassador looks up, sees you, and sends a telepathic message directly from you into your frontal lobes. What manner of creature can pass through the impenetrable walls of my prison? He transmits. Whoever you are, have mercy and free me from this tomb. Impenetrable walls? It's a tunnel, you think back at him. Have you even tried escaping? How long have you been down here? I'm greatly weakened from my ordeal, the ambassador thinks at you. Also, it is really dark. The only way out of this cell is back the way you came. So if you want to take the ambassador back to the surface with you, you're going to have to lift him into the tunnel. He is quite heavy. We need to give him a boost. So we need strength.
Yeah.
And we have to keep doing it until...
So we need to roll. So our level's at 5, we get +2, so we need to roll 3. And we get a 1, so we actually lose our item.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Well done.
And we raise the danger meter by 3.
So we need to roll a 6. 6. Got a 5. Was close, but not close enough.
Meow.
So we put our psychic scale down by 2. We're at the very bottom of the scale, which is lower than what we started on. We failed again with a 1. So I need a 4. Got a 2. Need a 5. Got a 4.
Meow.
Need a 3. Got a 1. Come on, you roll. Need a 4.
Got 6.
Hey, eventually.
Lower it by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, great.
And go to story card 146. You drag the crystalline alien back to the security room where the professor waits. On a monitor, you can see a giant UFO entering Earth's atmosphere. Hurry, the professor says in a panic. The Armada is almost upon us. The alien ambassador rushes to the console. He pushes a button and makes a series of harsh noises you can only assume are his native language. Have we got clue 90?
Don't think so.
No. So, I've got to turn it over. When he's finished, the alien sends you a telepathic message. I've contacted my people. All is well. So now what, you ask? Go outside and await their arrival, he transmits. Do not fear them. We have forgiven all your transgressions and will not murder you or the rest of your species. So now we've got different choices depending on what level on the psychic scale we're on. Mm-hmm. So because we're only on level 1, we have to take clue 119.
This sounds bad. 119. You know what the ambassador said, but something's giving you a funny feeling about it. Go to story card 140.
Are you sure everything's fine? You ask. Because the way you said it, it doesn't really sound like it's fine. The alien rearranges his face into what might be a crystalline skull. Fine? Fine? Do you mean to ask whether it's fine that I was locked in a dungeon for years, while your people tore my ship to pieces and stole technology you are not advanced enough to use or understand? Now that I think about it, your entire planet will die for your crimes, but the two of you in particular will truly suffer. The ambassador lunges at you. We've got to fight the alien ambassador. So we haven't got anything to help us now. So we just got we just have to keep going until we beat.
Well, Andy says I'm rubbish at rolling, so you've got to roll the dice now.
Got 3.
So you succeed.
So we go 1, 2,
Thanks, Andy.
4 spaces forward on there, and then we get and go to story card 147. There we go. You can read it this time.
You rush outside with the professor just as massive fleet of crystalline flying saucers descends through the clouds. If only I'd finished assembling my doomsday device, the professor laments.
Laments.
What does laments mean?
Like moans almost.
The professor moans. Wait a sec, you say. You were working on a doomsday device? Well, technically it's a device against doomsday devices, but if you point it the wrong way, it will definitely blow up the planet. You really want to remember to point it the right way. The largest of the alien ships stops above the manor and hovers in midair. But it's all for nothing, the professor continues. Without my valence conduction capacitor, my quantum synthesis stabilizer, I've done really well there, haven't I? I've done well, haven't I? Have I done well? I've done well.
Well done.
My quantum synthesis stabilizer, screwed it up there. Because I've got to recap on what I was saying. And my hypersonic isotropic resonator is all lost. If you have clues 92, 96 and 102, I'm almost certainly sure we
got
don't.
92.
If you only have 1 or 2 of 92, 96, 102, what's 92?
The hypersonic thingy bob.
The what?
The hypersonic isotropic resonator.
The hyper.
Yeah.
Get story card 143.
There's nothing we can do to stop them, the professor says, eyes wide. Earth is doomed. He glances at an egg ship parked out on the lawn. Your eyes follow his. Instinctively, you both make a mad dash for the ship as the UFOs begin firing lasers down from above. This thing needs much more fuel if we're going to leave Earth's gravity, the professor says once you're both inside. He frantically empties his pockets into an open compartment on the ship's dashboard as the ground outside the craft begins to buckle. Quick, throw everything you've got into the fusion reactor. If you have 12 or more clues with the phrase "keep this item" in your inventory.
We don't.
No. If you have fewer than 12, then we go to 152.
Feels like we're coming to the end. Chapter 5 goal achieved. Yay. That'll have to do. It's like a very convincing victory. The professor says, strap yourself in and this will be a bumpy ride. That turns out to be an understatement. The egg ship blasts into the stratosphere, shaking so hard as it gains altitude that you're afraid it will splinter into pieces around you. We don't have enough energy to break free from the planet's gravity. Gravity? Gravity. The professor screams. Engaging the FTL drive. He flips up a little plastic cover on the console to reveal a button. A piece of masking tape under it has the handwritten words. Handwritten words. I will learn to read one day. Good. Faster than lights drive on it. The professor pushes a button. The lights go out in the cockpit. The engines make a low, grinding sound as they sputter and shut down. Your ship falls like a brick, but before you have a chance to crash into the ground, the entire Earth detonates and you're engulfed in a gargantuan planet-wide explosion. So I think we might have died quite a lot. So, boom! We failed.
We did fail.
We won.
Utterly.
Well, we got to the end.
We got to the end, but you can't not get to the end.
No. Yeah, I mean, that was weird. It wasn't easy and it wasn't hard. There was no difficulty level.
I enjoyed it, but I think if we did play it again, I think we need to do a lot more
going back and
exploring. And I think because this, in a way, because you can't completely die.
Yeah.
This, in a way, doesn't matter. So we weren't going back and doing more stuff because we were worried about the tracker going up.
Yeah.
But then we missed a whole load of clues.
Yeah, I guess so.
How many times did we draw a card and it say, if you have this clue?
Yeah,
we hadn't got it. So yeah, I think if we did it again.
I mean, it was enjoyable. I just don't think we got our money's worth out of it.
No,
not yet anyway. But it's one of those games. I don't think we'd sell it, but we'd play it again in a few years' time.
Yeah.
Maybe do it with the kids or something.
Yeah, I reckon probably play it with the kids. Not just yet. Certainly not.
I'd rather it when Jessica can read, so that she can read the cards.
Yeah, but
she'll do it now. She'll take forever, and it'll be a pain in the butt.
It takes forever just doing it with you.
I learned some words today. Molluscule or whatever it is.
Monocle.
Monocle. Monocle. What's the other one? Marshicadum or something.
I can't remember. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I just think we needed to make more of it and not just rush through it to get to the end.
Yeah, it's very easy to rush through, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, we did. Because like I said, we was only expected to do one chapter and we've done all 5.
Yeah, I think if we'd gone back and explored all the options of each chapter, we'd have probably only got through 2 maybe 3 tonight.
Yeah, true. No, it's been good. Cool. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
See you. Bye.